Today we're talking mock scrapes. After seeing what I saw on one of the kill plots yesterday, I knew I better get out here and get my mock scrapes going. Um, this is what I typically do. This is actually cedar, and this thing got hammered last year. I've got a water hole here, a camera that looks over it, and a stand right over there. My bedding's over that direction. I hung this up with paracord like 3 years ago, and it's kind of sagged down. I like this thing to be about waist high, so I'm going to take a little bit off of it just to shorten it up, and we're going to rough up this ground and get this thing all dialed in so we can get off the property. Tools of choice: the old garden rake, DeWalt battery powered skill saw. All right, we got this thing cut to a height I like. About waist high on me, seems to be the golden ticket. Now we're going to take a rake and rough up this ground next to it for a visual. And sometimes I will go through and I'll actually mix sand with potting soil. Had really good luck with that and make a big dark spot. In this case today, I do not have potting soil. I need to get this done, so I'm just going to rough it up with a rake right fast, and we'll just watch cameras and see what happens. All right, guys, end result, this is kind of what I have here. We got some rain last night, thank goodness. Food plots are done. We got 3/4 of an inch, so the ground was pretty nice and dark. The smell of this stuff, I don't know what it is when you till a food plot. Deer absolutely are attracted to fresh dirt. I don't know what it is. So, don't need topsoil in this instant. Sometimes I will come through with like a gallon jug on the golf cart and just re-wet these things, because if you know hunting scrapes after a rain, bucks are going to hit them for sure to make sure there's scent's in there. So I'll do that on occasion just to freshen up the scent. Power of mock scrapes: more is not better. You only want to put these things over spots you can kill a deer from, because if you have too many of them, you'll attract a lot of smaller bucks, and also it diminishes the power of this mock scrape. If you have 20 of them, I have 3 on this place, and they're all over sets that I have. So we are going to go knock out the rest of them. Then I've got something I've never tried before, is a Hodag hemp rope with some scent that came with it. So we're going to try this out, put a camera over it, and see what the results are. This is my normal setup, super successful. This one is right off the trail. The bedding's right over there. Trail comes through here. Get tons and tons of buck pictures off this thing. My biggest buck died 15 yards from this spot right here, and they work. But don't get too many of them, because if you can't kill bucks over them, there's no sense in having them. So the power is in the mock scrapes that you can kill over, and having less is more in this instance. So they're going to do their own, obviously. I showed you one yesterday over there that they're already hammering. So these mock scrapes are very powerful, but you got to be kind of selective of where you put them and how many you have. So we're going to go take care of the rest of them, then we're going to run over to the big plot, and I'm going to try this little hemp rope setup and get a camera set up over that. So, all right, something a little weird. I was walking around an old water hole that I had over here on my old setup. Super, super thick in here. Just checking for sign. And I came across this. I bought this property 4 years ago, I think. Been all around it, but I've never seen a picnic table with a lawn chair leaned up against it. Is that weird? I don't know. All right, guys, here we have the Hodag hemp rope mock scrape. I'm not much on these things like this. I've used my old tried and true paracord and, whatever you want to choose. I use cedar 9 times out of 10 and have great success over them. But I've got 3 of their products now, and I want to put these things to the test. So let's get this thing hung up and see what it does. All right, so in the package, we have the hemp rope. And we also have some paracord. Hopefully it's enough to get to where I need to get. And we have there all season scent. I've got a tree right over there. I'm gonna put a camera on. We're gonna see what this thing does. So we get it hung up and see what happens. So we got our hemp rope hung up. We got our camera set over there. I put it on video so we can see what happens. Now you watched probably, I don't know, 10 videos ago where I came in and trimmed this tree up because there's a natural scrape right behind here. So I'm trying to create like a little hub scrape. So I got the ground roughed up here and the ground roughed up here. And I've got a stand about 40 yards right over there. So let's go. All right. I know I talked about not having too many of these mock scrapes. I've got, said 3 on my property now. 4 counting the little hub scrape deal I hung over there on the other plot. But I've got a stand that sits right over here. And this branch right here is prime for a natural one. So I'm gonna make one right here. I'm gonna got the weed eater, and I've also got my edger to grind up the dirt a little bit. This will be a chip shot at like 23 yards if this one works. So just drove by, couldn't resist it, had to go get some Milwaukee stuff to make this happen. Let's go. All right, so another one done. I wouldn't call this a mock scrape. I think they would use it anyway. The edger worked great. I just took the ground down and made me a big dirt spot. Great visual effect, great scent. I do not have a camera running over this one, but I'll be able to tell fairly quickly if it's getting used. So we got one more to go. On a post you see me plant not too long ago that I buried in the ground for a mock scrape camera type deal. So we're gonna go knock that one out. Mock scrapes will be done. All right, if you saw early videos, you saw I went and cut this down, post hole dug it in the ground for a place to put a camera and to feed over for a stand I have 35 yards over that direction. Now I've decided, since these branches are all dead, I'm gonna cut all these branches off. I've got another Hodag product that screws to this tree and I can swap out the branches. In the past, I've actually augered through the tree and stuck branches in that hole just to keep them fresh. But I'm gonna try this product. I think it's just a couple little hand tightened deals, and we can keep these branches fresh throughout the season with this spot right here. So I'm gonna trim all these off. We're gonna install the new product and see what happens. All right, another Hodag product here. So I'm not much on this gimmicky stuff or the scents or all that stuff. But I think for me, this product will work pretty well because instead of augering through the tree and swapping out branches, I can just use these couple thumb screws, put in a fresh branch as the season goes on, keep the scrape fresh, keep the branch fresh, and we're gonna see how it works. So we're gonna try this out, get it mounted to the tree, and let's see what happens. All right, we got the Hodag licking branch installed. I found me a limb that fits in there, thumb screws, They call a licking branch. I call this a scrape, as I've got a stand right over there that's 32-ish, 35 yards away. So we've got their all season scent here. We're going to sprinkle this on. Might as well go heavy. And with that, our mock scrape is done. This will be my fourth one. The other ones are just natural cedar limbs I have hanging down. And I made another one over a oak tree that just looked like they were going to use it anyway. So we'll see how this works. I think it's going to work out good for me because I don't have a camera spot here. I don't have a scrape tree here. This is all food plot stuff. So this little thing is spring loaded so they can rub on it, do their scrape, and I can swap these things out with 3 little thumb screws. So I think it's going to work out really well. I will let you know. Thanks for watching.